I think the biggest thing you can do is to really track everything.
Welcome to the Chaos to Clarity Show, where we help entrepreneurs unlock the next level of growth. I'm your host, Gary, CEO and co-founder of Whale. So with me on the show today is Keith from SegMetrics. How are you doing today, Keith?
I'm doing great. Gary, thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Keith, give us some context of who you are. So in 30 seconds, what do you do, what's your business, and who do you help?
Yeah, so I am the founder of SegMetrics. We are a analytics platform that focused on the entire customer journey. So we're not looking at just ads. We're looking at things people do offline, things that people do with sales calls, tags, webinars, trials, blah, 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 whatever, to understand what is the happy path through that customer journey. Before I did SegMetrics, I ran an agency for 10 years, focused on conversion rate optimization of funnels like this. And that's where SegMetrics was born out of, is because there were no tools to do what we needed to do.
That's great. And I shared just before this call, this has been something that we've been struggling with. And I know just a lot of business struggle with, to understand, like, what is that buyer journey? What are some of the spots that we're missing? So I'm so convinced that this is going to be valuable to a lot of people. So as you know, Keith, we like to share like one golden nugget of business advice, something you've learned or something that you want to share with our listeners. So what do you have in store for us today?
So the main thing I want to talk about is that middle of funnel. And the problem, middle of funnel, I believe, is the most important part of any sales funnel, of any customer journey, right? It is after someone has given you their email address, after someone is interested in your product, and what are the things that turn them from a visitor and a lead or a contact into a customer in that journey. And people, unless you have a business that is person sees one ad, person purchases a product, you have a middle of funnel, and you may not know it. And that's the crazy thing, is that because we all use web tracking tools, right? We use Google Analytics, we use Facebook, we use Google Ads, we use Heap, we use Fathom, we use all this stuff. It's all web-based. And because it's web-based, it relies on people doing something on a browser. But when you read an email, you didn't do that on a browser, you're in the email. When you got on a sales call, you didn't do that in a web browser. So none of this is trackable by these systems. And so what you're doing in the end is you are optimizing for something that is not valuable to your business. So here's a great example, because in our business, we're a SaaS company, and we need people to see our website, click on an ad, sign up for a nurture sequence or a demo or something like that. And that's cool. We can get that. We can get that information. How many people came in from these ads? Awesome. Did they start a trial? We don't know, because the trial happens offline. It happens during the demo, or it happens on this flow. Did they become a customer? We don't know, because that happens in Stripe on the back end, not on the web again, right? Like, all these things happen in the middle of funnel, but the web systems don't know them. So when I have an ad and I'm trying to optimize my Google ads, and I say, hey, I want to optimize for customers. They're like, well, who's a customer? Like, someone who signs up, but they're not. Those aren't my customers. Those are just people that have signed up. It may be Joe Schmo. We don't know. And so what we do at SegMetrics is we're able to see that middle of funnel by pulling in the tags from our CRM, right? From ActiveCampaign and Fusionsoft. We're able to tie together from Calendly into Stripe. So we know, did this person get on a call? Did this person start a trial? Did this person become a customer? And then tie that back to the ad, and then send that information into Google with their conversion API, same with Facebook and all that, so that not only do we know how much it costs for us to get a trial or a customer, but we're able to tell Google that, so they're not sending us crap leads anymore.
That makes total sense, right? And we get hung up, I think, on software like HubSpot and other marketing automation tools that tend to say that they're telling you the full story of, like, hey, this is how they first like submitted contact information, and they convert that way, and this is the ad that they interacted with. But there's this realm of other stuff that people go through as they buy that we tend to either overlook or not look at all, these blind spots, which I'm sure that a lot of people tend to then over focus on the things we see and undervalue the things that we're not measuring. Like people that potentially are listening to this podcast, it's hard to measure that, right? Like which impact that might have to you, to us. So yeah, absolutely following you. What are some of the tips you might give to people that feel like they're in the same boat and want to do something to change the situation they're in?
I think the biggest thing you can do is to really track everything.
If you love the show, please pass it on or go to iTunes to leave a review to help other founders unlock growth in their business. For more resources, go to usual.com. Until next time.